Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Living It. Today I'm going to do another little real talk moment. A couple weeks ago I did one with talking about my struggle with fear. And I was just kind of thinking, reflecting this morning, just kind of about this whole coronavirus thing, life, quarantine, everything like that. I just preached a message this past Sunday at our church, Simply Church. If you don't know about that, you can check us out on the web, simplychurchgb.com. But I just preached a message at our church called Squeezed, and me and my wife were actually talking about this kind of experiment that we did with our kids this past week with the watermelon, and how life literally will squeeze you at moments. And sometimes we crack and sometimes we explode, just like the watermelon experiment that me and my kids did on our YouTube channel as well. If you could check that out as well if you want to see that video. But as I was thinking about all this and squeezed, and I preached this message about how when we're squeezed, sometimes things come out of us that aren't good. And sometimes things come out of us that are good, but whatever comes out of us shows what's on the inside of us. And I was thinking today, kind of back in my childhood a little bit, and I was doing some self-reflection, and I was thinking about when this whole thing's over, 10, 20 years from now, what will my kids remember about the coronavirus? What will they remember about the coronavirus? You know, I don't remember everything about my childhood, to be honest. I remember a couple things. I remember getting like a Nintendo when we were kids for Christmas one year, and I loved the Nintendo. That was like the coolest thing in the world. We played that thing nonstop. I remember going to water parks and Six Flags. I remember some family vacations. I remember going camping. We were just talking about that with our kids. I remember a lot of great things. I remember some traumatic things. I remember my brother. One time we were going riding bikes, and my dad told my brother not to wait a second to ride the bikes. We were going to go down a big hill, and my brother took off down the hill. My dad was trying to catch him. He couldn't catch him, and my brother flipped over the bike handle, busted his head all open. I remember we went to the doctor. I remember my dad got hurt on a motorcycle, was in the hospital. I just remember weird random things. I remember family nights at our house, where we would eat pizza and watch TJF Friday. For all you young people out there, that was like the cool thing to do on Friday nights before you had DVR and Hulu and Netflix and all that. I remember all the family game nights. A lot of things I remember that are positive. I remember some negative things, some bad decisions I made as a kid. I don't remember everything, but I remember highlights. I remember moments. I remember seasons. I remember when our family went through a hard time financially and my dad was out of work, and I remember just momentarily things. And we, when we get together with our family, we talk about those things. We talk about the good times. We talk about the funny times. We talk about the memories we had that were good. And we also talk about the not so good memories sometimes. And I was thinking about the coronavirus, and I was thinking about what will my kids say 10 years from now when we get together for Christmas? What will they say about the coronavirus? What will they remember? What will my wife remember? What will I remember about the coronavirus? Will we remember all of us being mad, depressed, the whole world being upset? Or will we remember some good things? We've been taking some time as a family and playing some family games and trying our best to be positive during this coronavirus. But there's been some times where we've been squeezed, and I'll be honest, homeschooling is not easy. Having everybody trapped in the same house isn't easy. And we've had some moments where we've all kind of got upset with each other and had to apologize to each other for some things that were said. The kids were fighting. They've had to apologize to each other. Me and Sarah have been kind of having some moments here and there where we've fought for a moment and had to apologize to each other because we're all being squeezed. We're all being pressed together. We're all being, stuff's just coming out of us that isn't good. And that's great because it's an opportunity for God to work on our hearts and do some stuff in us. But what I was thinking today was, I was thinking 10 years from now, I want my kids to remember the coronavirus lockdown quarantine and say, you know, it was a rough time. It was a hard time for our family, but we made the best out of it. We actually grew closer together as a family. We had some good moments. We had some good memories. That's why I did the watermelon experience. I was trying to create a memory. We've been trying to do some fun game nights with our kids, trying to create some good memories. I'm hoping, and again, time will be the teller, but I'm hoping that my kids, they'll remember the negative things in the economy and how it affected them, and they couldn't go to school, and they'll remember those things for sure. But I'm hoping they also remember the coronavirus being a time that our family drew closer together. I'm hoping that they remember the coronavirus as a time where they got to spend more time with mom and dad, and it wasn't just us being irritable with each other, but it was actually good memories. Remember that time we all watched the Survivor Marathon? Because that's what we did the other night. We watched like 10 episodes of Survivor, and we were trying to figure out who's going to get voted off of an old season. And I remember that time when we did the puzzle together. I remember that time we did that rubber band and watermelon experience, and we exploded it, and the watermelon hit Dad in the face. I remember during the coronavirus, Mom and Dad taking more time and praying with us. And, virtual church was weird, but I remember us worshiping together as a family. And whatever it is, I just been praying, and I've been thinking, I've been reflecting. Our kids will talk about this for life. They will remember things about this, but I hope that there is some good things that they remember, because we're doing our best as parents to create good memories for our kids during this. We're trying to make some positives in a tough time. And so this morning, I just want to challenge you I know that we're all being squeezed. I know this is hard for all of us. I know that this is a tough time for all of us, but I want to challenge you this morning. If you're a family person, especially, try to make some good out of a tough situation. Take this time and spend time with your family. Take some time and work on some issues. If you're being squeezed and some things are coming out of you that aren't godly and that aren't good, take some time and work on those things. God's bringing them to the surface. If good things are coming out of this, come on, joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, all those things are coming out of you, man, that's great. God's been doing such a good work in you. But let's be honest, all of us are probably struggling in some way, some area. And I just want to encourage you today to just take some time during this. If bad things are starting to come out, take some time to reflect. If good things are coming out, that's great. God's been doing something. And take some time and invest in your family. Invest in your personal life. Invest in your spiritual life. Come on, spend time reading God's word like never before. Spend time in his presence like never before. And I just want to encourage you to take some time and just think about what your family will say, what your kids will say about the coronavirus at Christmas when they come home 10 years from now. What will be their memories? I think just to kind of wrap this up, I've kind of hit a couple different thoughts, but just to kind of wrap this up, I think, this has been tough, but I think that we can make good in a tough situation. I think that there can be some positives that come out of tough situations. I think that in tough times, that God can use it for good in us and through us. And I know that a lot of us have been saying we wish we had more time to spend with our wife or our husband, or we wish we had more time to spend with our kids. Well, right now is the time that you have where things are kind of slowing down. You can't go do 100 things. So take this time and invest in your family, invest in your marriage, invest in your personal relationship with God. Hope this helped you today. Just another quick real talk on our YouTube channel. Just trying to mix it up a little bit, help you in your walk as God's helping me, and I'm learning and I'm growing. We don't have it all figured out either. We're just learning every day and trying to be better parents, better husband, better man of God. That's what I'm living for, and I hope that you're doing the same. Hey, we love you. God bless you. Stay tuned for more stuff.